Hey, book besties. How are y'all? I don't want nobody coming for me in the comments because these are my January reads for the month of January. And I understand that it's about to be March. I do get that. I understand that, and I know I'm late, so forgive me. But my birthday is on Friday. So give me a little bit of grace. Shout out to all my Pisces, especially my February Pisces. Shout out to y'all. But January was a really good reading month for me. And I want to share some of the books that I read. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So the first book I read was Death of the Author. And I'm looking down because I'm reading my notes. I gave this 3 stars. This story follows a Black author whose life starts blending with the fictional world that she's creating. So you're basically reading 2 stories at the same time, her real life and then also the book that she's writing. I did like that. I thought that was very creative and very cool. Um, but I kind of felt like, let me first say this. If you read this book, you can put it down in the comments. Her family, the only way it could have got worse is that if she would have prayed to God for God to send her worst family. Her family is horrible. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I just her family got on my nerves this whole book. This whole book. So I didn't like her family. Um it started to drag a little bit in the middle, and towards the end it felt like the author was just adding stuff, and I feel like it was too much. It wasn't really needed. Some of the pros though is that I definitely love seeing the representation of the Black female. I love that. I love the dual storyline. It was amazing. I love that. But other than that, I did give it a 3 star. The next book is The Ghostwriter. I also gave this book 3 stars. So, The Ghostwriter, the story follows a ghostwriter who gets pulled into a mysterious situation involving a well known author. So, it's secrets and it's hidden truths. And then there's this really big plot twist that really starts to shift everything. Uh, I One of the things that I did like about this book was that the prose was definitely one of the twists. I didn't see that coming, but I did feel like again this book was too long and they just started adding stuff, and I was just like, okay, so who did it? Who didn't do it? This person did it. Now you trying to tell me that they didn't do it? And now, listen, get to the point, because you could have cut this about 50 pages short if you was gonna be doing all this flip flopping and going around the mulberry bush. So that was my only con with it, but I did enjoy reading it. The next was The Butcher. And I gave this 4 stars. I enjoyed The Butcher. If you like thrillers, I think that The Butcher should definitely be on your list to read. So the Butcher is like a dark thriller that's centered around a serial killer investigation, but they really just put it out there that, hey, this the killer, and then he just turned up. And I'm like, oh, you was gonna tell us that early who it was? I should have known then that if you tell me that early who the killer is that we in for a treat. And so I love reading The Butcher. I gave it 4 stars. The next book I read was Cutthroat. Let me tell you something. Cutthroat, I gave it 4.5. This was my favorite read of January. If you have not read it, you need to go read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and it's also short. It's only like 323 pages. If the devil is 1A, Judas is 1B, then Eden, the main character, she's 1C. Yeah, she took it all the way down there to hell. She got in the ground like a fossil fuel, and to get her revenge back, and I'm not even mad at that. You see what I'm talking about? If you really want to get revenge, ladies, you need to read this book. Now, you may not have to go the whole way that she went. But if you do half of what she did, you done got your revenge back. Cause y'all, it listen, so it follows Eden and her husband Jermaine. And their relationship is complicated. It's messy and it's full of secrets. There's crime, drama, and a lot of tension throughout the whole story. If you have not read it, what are you waiting for? Go get it. Okay, and then the last book that I read was a partner read. I read it with Lissy. She is on TikTok. Her name is Lit with Lissy, so go follow her, guys. But we read I Medusa. I gave this 3 stars. I kept hearing about this book. You need to read it. You need to read it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not saying that people lied, but they didn't quite tell the truth. So I don't know if that's between a line. Yeah. hmm they it wasn't right. So this is a retelling of Medusa's story with Greek mythology and demigod elements all woven together, which honestly is a really cool concept. I loved that all the characters in this was African American, period. I loved it, but I know the story of Medusa because I like Greek mythology, and I feel like the ending was rushed. And I kind of feel like Medusa is supposed to be like a symbol for womanhood and standing tall for women. To me, that's what I believe. And in this book, she was a little scary. It's like when it became time for her to really say what she needed to say, she couldn't do it. But other times she was going off on folks, and I'm just like, what? You gonna go off on the little man, but the people that you should be turning up on, you can't talk now. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. And then I did not like the way that it ended. I felt like the ending was rushed. I really did. And I was thinking like it could be a part 2, or Lissy said that, and I agree with her. I Yeah, it could have been a part 2. If you was gonna rush the ending like that, like what is we doing? But overall, I still gave it a 3. So those are my January reads. Don't talk about me in the comments. Just go get the book. And if you're thinking about getting one, you like, I don't know, Mimi, I don't know which one to get Cutthroat. All right, I will see y'all next time.